What is up, guys? Welcome to Monday Night Firearms Chat on Firearms and Fellowship. I'm your host, Jeremy, and I'm excited to have a couple guests that I've been looking forward to having on for a while now. And let's go ahead and bring in the first, and that is Mike Baker, the editor at Texas Gun Collectors Association. Mike, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good, Jeremy. How you doing?
I'm doing well. We appreciate you coming on.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for the invitation.
Yes, sir. We've been working on getting you on here, and our schedules just haven't lined up yet. But I'm glad that you hollered at me today. A little bit of serendipity.
Oh yeah, worked out just right.
And our other guest this evening is some of you will remember him from previous streams, and that is George McAllister from the Remington Society of America. There you go. You got your green on too. I'm getting
Mike kind of embarrassed me into that.
How you doing tonight, George?
I never had so much and needed so little, Jerry.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. Mike, why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about Texas Gun Collectors Association and what you do over there?
Sure. Yeah, I took over the editor spot for the Texas Gun Collector magazine, which is the club magazine, and probably 4 or 5 years ago, I guess. It's been a blast. I've met so many nice people through the magazine. We originally had a 80-page plus covers magazine, but now this is our 75th anniversary, so we've actually got a 112-page magazine that just came out, plus covers, and it's got a lot of special stuff in it, including our 75th anniversary logo, which is new. The magazine's got a new look. Just for this year, then we'll go back to our old ways in 26. But anyway, formed in 1950, and we have had some of the premier collectors in our club. I can't even begin to name them all. But anyway, great bunch of guys, a lot of gun knowledge. Winchester single actions, Colt single actions. I personally like to collect Super 38s and government models. We've got Winchester guys there that do pre-64 bolt actions, lever guns. Of course, we got plenty of Remingtons there too. And in fact, our new magazine has got George's 1875 Remington on the cover. I'd be glad to give you a quick picture of the cover if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, we'd love to see that. Man, that's a
good
I'm
holding it up right there.
I can't tell you how happy we are with that.
That is
we're just super pleased. That's pretty prestigious, and we're just blown away by it. We really appreciate it, Mike. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you deserve it, George. You did all the work.
Well, yeah, but you guys just made us feel so welcome. We had the best time, and I got to tell you folks, if you've never been to a TGCA show, you need to go. You need to go. It's all good stuff and good guys, and you're made to feel at home, and I really encourage you to go. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, we have. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, for those that don't know, George has been racking up some awards with his Indian revolver display, and that's what was shown on the cover of the magazine there.
Correct. Yeah, Pine Ridge. What is it, George? Pine Ridge Indian.
Yeah, Pine Ridge Indian Police, number 26. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's I looked for that gun for about 15 years before I was able to get it, and it's the best I've ever had, and probably the best I'm ever going to have. It's really it's what it's purported to be. It's original. It's in wonderful condition, and a lot of good history behind that gun. That's
excellent.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
But it
Yeah.
obviously was a good one because it got awards, got the People's Choice Award, and got you a cover spot. So
And that's about as good as it gets. I can't
yes,
imagine
it is.
it better than that. No, that's
It
it.
is.
That's it. You've hit the big time with that. So
So we have, in addition to our 2 magazines every year, we have 2 shows, one in the spring and one in the fall. And then we also just came out with the Fine and Antique Arms Annual, which is a $70 coffee table book, 360 pages of gorgeous photographs done by Rock Island. A lot of these guns you'll never see them anywhere else because they're in private collections. They don't come to shows. And anyway, with a $60 membership, you get the book for free. So it's a no-brainer, you know.
Yeah.
I've got a copy of that here too. It's a
Oh,
look at
wow.
that, folks.
Wow.
you can see how thick it is. It's, you know, and it's just it doesn't matter what page you open it up to. It's just gorgeous.
He would open it up to those government models.
Look at there. I didn't even look, and that's where it went to.
And you said Rock Island.
You'll never make me believe that.
Did you say Rock Island takes those pictures?
We did a collaboration. Actually, Rock Island offered to do the work for us at no charge.
Oh,
And
wow.
they spent considerable time and energy helping us on the project. And I'm not sure we could have completed it by ourselves in the quality that it was done. So big kudos to Rock Island Auctions for all their hard work.
That's outstanding. We got some people coming into the chat this evening. Surrender Park, thank you. And I think Nibs is going to jump on with us.
Good.
I sent him a link to join us. Always like to have Nibs in the conversation. So let's jump over here to the RSA page. And George, is there anything that you want to talk about as far as Remington Society of America?
Well, we're a group of folks, collectors, and it's about all things Remington. So it's not just firearms. Remington at one time or another we're into everything: typewriters, sewing machines, cash registers, knives, guns, modern and antique, farm equipment, bridges. So we have members who cover a little bit of all of that, who collect all of that. So anybody that has any interest, we'd welcome them to join the society. There's always somebody there with a similar interest, and always looking forward to speaking to someone and all that. In fact, I talked to a gentleman today about an Indian police gun, and he was sent to me from Mike there. Talked to a TGCA member called me. So it's a lot of interaction goes on between guys, and if you're going to collect it, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to meet people with similar interest and get out there. And that's what we try to do. We got a bunch of great members. We got a good active club, and we're slowly growing, and that's good. So that's what we're about.
Added about 20% membership last year, so that I wouldn't call that slow.
Well,
Awesome.
we were really happy about that. I don't know if we're going to repeat that this year, but we're certainly trying. We're trying to do
We'll help you any way we can.
Well, we need to talk about that a little bit, and you and I will do that. We're trying to do some things. We have some ideas, maybe changing some things, and I don't know if folks will like that or not. But I think there's ways. You have to be looking. You can't be stagnant, or you'll you'll get
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's too much gray hair in our club, and there's too much gray hair in the TGCA, and
Yes, sir.
we're looking for young folks. So you got to attune yourself to that. You got to find out what they're interested in, and try to have some of that in your organization too.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys coming on, that helps a lot, because there's a great 2A community on YouTube, and I know that there's going to be some people out there that just weren't familiar that you were there, and I do implore people to go join those clubs. The magazines are outstanding. I mean, it's not stuff like you'd buy off of the magazine rack. I mean, these are in-depth articles written by experts in their particular field. So let me pull Nibs in here real quick, if I can find him. Nibs, buddy, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Yeah, we got Nibs from Walnut and Steel. Always glad to have Nibs on the channel. And
I got my background. I'm really not out in the garage, but
I like it.
I like
it. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Daisy Lever Gun Fun. Good evening, fellas. Good evening to you as well. So today, guys, I went by the local getting spot, and there was a rifle that caught my eye, and it turned out to be a Savage 93, 22 mag.
Yeah.
Let me pull up a picture of it so people know what we're talking about here. Yeah, bull barrel. I think like a 21-inch bull barrel. Now these are made in Lakefield, Ontario. Interestingly, Savage, they bought Lakefield in, let's see here. Maybe it's, I think it was in 2004.
it was earlier than that. I can guarantee you that.
It may have been. I'll pull it up.
I have a
Let me see if
Savage 900 TR that was made in like 1999 or 2000, and it was made in Lakefield, Canada. It was made by Savage Arms Canada, which was after they bought Lakefield Arms.
Okay, 1994 is when they acquired the Rimfire production. Now they had done some collaborations before that as well. I think Lakefield did some with Marlin too. But yeah, you know, the Mark I and the Mark II, those started out as Lakefield guns, and of course, you know, after Savage acquired them, they slapped their name on there, and then later it says here 2002 they came out with the AccuTrigger. So that's kind of the Mark I and Mark II we know today. But yeah, those all started as Lakefield guns, and they're highly regarded for their barrels. So yeah, I'd be interested to take that one for a walk around the park and see how it does. I've got a Mark I, and it's a really good shooter.
And you said that was a 22 Magnum.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, 21-inch barrel, hardwood stock.
So that would have what would have became a Savage 93.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Savage.
Guess 93. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. And it kind of reminds me of that CZ 455 American I have. You know, there's no iron sight provisions on it, so it gives it a real clean look. And it's a handy link if you're going to be out in the woods and stuff.
Yeah, now that I look at the picture, I have the exact same one. It's a tack driver.
Yeah.
Like 5/8-inch groups at 100 yards.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
All day.
They wanted 289, so probably 275 or something like that out the door.
I've had mine for about 15 years now.
Have you?
Yeah. When they first came out with the 17 HMR.
I have yet to own a 17. How about you guys? Do y'all have any 17s?
No.
Never had shot one.
We got some folks flowing into the
so-
stream tonight. Carl Myers, Surrender Park, and the
I like 22
the
Magnum, but
legendary boomstick
it's
is out
definitely
there.
improvement.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get a 17 one of these days. Just haven't had a chance. So, Nibs, what do you got going on this week? I saw you kind of did your business update video. What was that, like a week ago? And
Just trying to
you've been crushing it this year. At least one video every day. That's commendable.
Well, so it's actually been like 3 or 4 years now. I've been actually putting out at least one video every day. I haven't missed a single day in like 3 years. But I am definitely going to be cutting it back this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
anybody that hasn't made videos, that's it takes some work. You go out to do like a 15-minute shooting video, and by the time you get done editing and all that stuff, you're gonna have well over an hour into it anyway.
yeah, well, yeah, at least.
Yeah.
I do have something I'd like to share my screen here. Let's see, I've got a couple of pictures that I would like to share.
Boomstick. Did someone say 22? Boom's been on the YouTube for as long as I can remember. He's gotten bounced off of channels. What number did you say you're on now, Boom? 6? They don't seem to like him at HQ for some reason. Yeah. So I don't. What's the difference between the 17 HMR and the Mach 2? I'm just not.
So the 17 HMR is a neck down 22 Magnum, and the 17 Mach 2 is a neck down 22 long rifle.
Okay. I tell you, 22 Magnum.
I've also had this
one of my favorites.
17 WSM, which is a 27 caliber nail gun blank with a 17 caliber in it. And it wasn't a good shooter. I think the 17 HMR is so much better of a bullet. I actually sold that 17 WSM. The bullets are expensive, really expensive, more expensive than even like 38 special, and just wasn't worth it. 17 HMR is so much more accurate.
As a side note, I was watching a deal the other day about nail guns, and over in Japan, certain nail guns they just can't carry them because you have to have a firearms license for a nail gun. I thought was kind of wild.
Yeah.
Mike, tell us what kind of firearms are you into? Like what ticks your clock?
Well, mostly Colt government models, which is I have a Facebook site called C Prefix. They on the government model, which was the civilian, they came out in 1912 with a C1, and they went all the way up through the end of 1949 with a C prefix. Then they changed it to a C suffix. So I figured I had to cut off somewhere. So I collect from 1949 back. And then I also like the little Model M pocket hammerless 380s. And recently I picked up a few Colt new service pistols, and they're just huge revolvers. You got to have a big hand to handle that thing. But yeah, I mean, I like them all, but those are the ones that I really kind of chase after.
Yeah. I've got a few Colts, 1902, 1911. Of course, the 1903 is probably my favorite
Mm-hmm.
pistol of all time.
32, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'd like to get one in 380. I keep looking for them at gun shows, and I want a shooter. You know, I don't want
Right.
that's too pretty, and it's been kind of hard to find one that I would be okay carrying around. And
Sure.
let me get a couple.
I just picked up.
Well, I guess I should tell you that I like Remington rifles also. I've got, 222, 22, 250, 308, 264, 300. Just about every caliber you could think of.
Oh, I
Plus
like that.
the little 22s I love, the 510, 511, 512, 514. So
Yeah, they're addicting.
oh, they really are. And
Yeah.
you talk about a tack driver for something that was not built to be a target gun. They're amazing little shooters, I'll tell you.
They are. Michael Dunn says he just picked up a 4570. That is cool. I have not owned a 4570. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
you
get
could
that
have-
up in just a second here. Let me catch up with the chat. Theodore Howe, love my Savage and Shoots model 141. Man, you are preaching to the choir, buddy. I've got an Anschutz 1411, and they'll spoil you. You know,
They're tack drivers.
just the fit and finish, and mine's West German made. Yeah, just absolutely wonderful rifles.
I just recently picked up a 1911. It says Colt government model on the side of it, but it was made in 1922. As far as I can tell, it was a civilian model.
It should have a C prefix serial number. Yeah. You bet. I've got several 1922s.
It's in really good shape, though. So it's
Mike, you
it
stick
was
most of
definitely
it
a lot
with
more.
Colts? You stick most of it with Colts or
Pretty much. I mean, I dabble in Smiths a little bit. I've never really had any Remington handguns because there weren't a whole lot of them.
Right.
Smith revolvers. Don't care for their automatics that much. I like Browning. Browning high power. That's about the only one. And then the 1911s, the government models, the Model M's. But yeah, mostly Colts.
We get inquiries from time to time. Guys will write and tell us they have a Remington 1911, and then you question them a little bit, and it's a Remington brand, and then
Right.
Then you're all trying to explain to them, well, that's not really a Remington, but that gets kind of convoluted what went on there. But
well, now is the Remington UMC?
yeah,
Is
I've had a couple of really nice UMC. I had two UMC. Yeah,
And that is a
I had two,
Remington,
and I
right?
sold them, and I should have kept one of them. That is a Remington. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. About 2 years there, right? In World War I, they didn't make many. And
Right.
I should have kept one of them, but.
And I tell you, to me, that is, of all the roll marks, that Remington UMC, it just the slide roll marks are just they just
nice.
really kick it. They look great.
Really nice.
Okay, Michael says he got a Henry, his 4570. And Springer Carnage says, I'm a HW fan. I have a HW35 and an HW30. They're good springers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's a good question for this group. Springer Carnage says, do you guys have any air guns? Nibs, what happened to your background?
I don't own a one.
Yeah, Nibs is a prolific collector of air guns, and yeah, if you're into that, you should.
So Jeremy, this is a good segue right here. I shared a picture. Can we post
okay,
that
yeah.
up first?
Let me pull that up for you here.
So this is an air gun. I don't actually own that, but I have that in my possession right now. That is a Daisy first model made in 1889.
Wow.
And
that looks like a survival rifle.
Yeah, it does.
One of the old fellas from the gun club brought that in. He's in his late 70s, and he said that was his dad's gun when he was a child. And it was missing a couple parts, but I was actually able to manufacture the parts that it needed to get it back up and running. A couple of parts internal to it. It's shooting. It'll puncture a soda can. It'll go through the soda can now. So it's about all you can ever ask for out of something like that, I think.
Sure. Just shoots a regular BB?
Probably wasn't much better now.
It's a .180 size, true BB shot size it takes.
Yeah.
Okay.
.18, not a 177 like a modern BB.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, no, just to let people know, George, he does some air gun repair. You want to give them a contact for that, George?
Yeah, you can email me at gmaque@aol.com. We do lots of Benjamins and Sheridans, lots of old Benjamins and Sheridans, lots of old Benjamin pumps. We kind of stumbled off into that about 15 years ago, thinking it would last about a year, and it's never stopped. So we get them in here weekly and turn them around and get them back out again. Lots of guns. Yep. You can tell were found in barns, and lots of them that this was my dad's or this was my granddad's, and we want to give it. I got
about a dozen different guns in my garage right now from folks to fix.
Yeah.
I've got a Remington pump. I may have to, not a Remington, a Benjamin pump that I may have to bring to the spring show and hand it off to you, George.
We'll take care of it. I got you covered. Yeah. That'll work. That would be my pleasure. I'm pretty deep in your debt anyhow, so.
Oh no.
Yeah, we'd love to. Yeah, bring it. We'll take care. We'll take care.
Kentucky, glad to have you in the chat tonight. Theodore House says, "Who has Seiko rifles? My 22 250 and 308, both Premier Deluxe grade."
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. For sure.
And
Scott Hansen, the Marlin 6022 is my favorite. Man, there's a lot of people with you there. I didn't own a Model 60 until this year. And it's actually not a 60, it's a 99. They had the 99. It's the same action. 99 had a longer barrel and walnut stock, but it's the same basic rifle. Yeah, they're good. They're good rifles for sure. Right up there. I mean, they've sold, I don't know, over 1 million of them now, and I didn't realize this, but the Model 60 didn't come out until I think it was 1983 under the Marlin name. Now there was a Glenfield Model 60 before that, but I just always thought the Marlin came first, but it was actually the Glenfield 60. So, and you'll see a lot of Glenfield 60s out there in the field.
I just recently picked up a pair of the Glenfields. They were made in 1978.
Yeah.
They were really bad looking, but I've restored one of them already. It actually turned out pretty good. The other one's going to be probably a next winter project, but
yeah. I think every one you pick up, you have to change out that buffer in them.
So far, the buffer on the one that I took apart was in perfect shape. I don't know if somebody may have already replaced it, but it looked like it had never been taken apart. So I doubt it was. But
Foxy Joe says hello. Glad to have you. Let me catch up a little bit here. She says, I have is that a L61 Fin Bear? Okay. You're familiar with that, George?
No, not really. I've heard that name, but I don't know much about it.
Daisy Lever Gun Fun. I have a Colt branded 1911 22 caliber. It makes my boat float. I hear you.
Too late. We're gonna laugh.
Yeah. I had the Browning 1911 22. It's the scaled down version, like the 80% scaled down version.
No,
Great,
yeah.
really, really great pistol. The only reason I sold
I kept thinking they were going to come out with a full size 45 after they got the 22 figured out,
Yeah.
But they never did do it. So,
They offered that scaled down pistol in 380 as well. So good options.
yeah, the gentleman with the 1911 and 22, I wonder if that's an Ace or if it's a service model Ace or if it's one of the later, somebody made some that had the Colt name, but they weren't actually made by Colt. And it's not coming to me right off the top of my head.
Boom says Nibs has more air guns than Daisy. That's possible.
So Ted's asking for me to show my TX200. It's right there up on the screen right now if you want to share it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is a new one I just picked up. This is made by Air Arms out of England, Great Britain. Still a production model. Very, very high end. Just absolutely one of the most flawless bluing jobs you'll ever see. This is not my actual gun. The walnut that's shown there is not even close to as nice as what the gun that I got is. But
I like that the shape of that stock. It looks like that would be really comfortable to shoot.
But it's a nice shooting gun. It's even remotely broken in yet, but still working on that.
Yeah.
So we were talking about 1911 22s, and I purchased a couple years ago a Colt kit that was made in like the late 20s or early 30s, I believe. Still have the original box and everything.
Oh, conversion unit.
Yeah. And I actually have that on one of my 1911s right now. It shoots really good, actually.
Right.
But
you need to use a pretty good ammo, or they foul. The bore doesn't foul, but they just get, if you shoot dirty ammo, the action gets gummed up pretty quick.
Yeah, they like standard velocity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael says, Jeremy, do you own any ARs? Yeah, I do. I've usually got a couple of them. I don't shoot them that often, honestly. I just prefer to shoot older guns, but yeah, I just picked up a Bushmaster a couple months ago. One of the old ones, labeled. Back then, they had to label it government use only or something like that. Yeah, I'll try to get those on the channel. I've got some AKs too that we could talk about. I just seems like I usually have a 22 that I want to get out and shoot, but yeah, we'll try to do that. I've been shooting some more pistol on my channel. I'm admittedly not a very good pistol shooter, but I'm trying to change that. And so if you want to see somebody not shoot well with a pistol, come on over to Firearms and Fellowship. We'll give you all you want. So Springer Carnage, air gunners in the house. Yep, there is. Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. Howdy, folks. Y'all go check out his channel. He puts out some great content, and usually doing some fundraisers and stuff too. He's big into the community and good part of the YouTube community. So we're glad to have him in here in the comments. Let me catch up a little bit here. We got quite a few people in here. Michael, my neighbor, has given me a Daisy 102 before they passed away. Okay. What kind of action is a 102?
I'm not sure. I think a 102. I'm not sure. Is that the break? That the break action, the one that like breaks in half?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering.
Almost like a break open shotgun, I think.
Oh,
I'm not 100% sure.
Pick says Kmart Glenfield is what I grew up on. The Super Squirrel. Yep. You see a bunch of them out there with the squirrels on them. I think Glenfield, didn't they sold through, department stores and Walmart and Kmart and stuff like that, didn't they?
Glenfield might have been either Sears or Montgomery Ward. I can't think which one it was, but
I don't remember. I know it was a store brand, but
could be.
Trying to find
it might have been Ward's. Wasn't it Ted Williams at Sears?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that seems right.
might have been Montgomery. I was thinking it was one or the other, Montgomery Ward's or Sears.
Well, and Sears had some that were labeled Sears. I've got a 410 bolt action that's labeled Sears. And they always have like a weird model number. It'll be like 104 point something.
Yeah, I used to have a double barrel shotgun that was had Montgomery Ward's name on it.
Yeah. Getaway 63. I have a Mossberg 702 Plinkster with a 25 round mag. Hey, can't go wrong with that.
Oh,
All kinds of fun. All kinds of fun. Seiko L61 fin bearer in 30-06. Okay. Umerix is who makes the Colt 22. Okay.
Yeah,
That.
that's the one I was trying to think of. It says Colt on it, but it's not made by Colt. It's made by Umerix for a Colt.
Okay. They make pretty good stuff. Where is Umerix out of?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've never really dealt with one. I deal mostly with the older stuff. So
Nibs, can you look that
way
up?
too many.
What's that?
Can you see where Umerix is based out of?
Umerex is a German company.
Or are they German? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Walther made Colt 1911. Okay.
Yeah, I think they made some of the 22s also. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the good old Clinton years. That's right. That's when that stuff went on. And I talk about this occasionally on my channel. Some of the stuff with the Gun Control Act of 1968. The little micro pocket pistols, the little 25 calibers. They banned those. It's just like just not a lot of common sense in it, but that's the way it goes. I'm in the middle of building an AR chamber in 22 long rifle. All right.
okay.
I would like to have one in Ruger 204. I've had an itch for a 204. Something bastard.
You've been infected, huh?
Yeah.
We were talking about pistols earlier, and we were talking about Remington not making too many pistols. And I finally dug up a picture of my one Remington pistol that I own.
Is it a 51?
Yep. So this one on the left here is a Remington 51.
Okay.
That's a little Browning over on the right. Not, was that a 19,
What is that?
Oh,
one?
06?
1908 or something?
I want to
Oh,
say
that-
it's a 06, but I could be
It's
wrong. Or 07?
1910-70.
1910.
Okay. I
So
almost bought one of those in Tulsa at Wanamaker's a couple years
They
ago.
came out with a reproduction of the 1910 in 1970. They called it a 1910/70. That's what that
Okay.
is. It has a longer barrel than the original 1910 because of the import act they came out with in, I think, 1968 or whatever it was. They had to put different like target sights,
Okay.
but it was a fun gun. And then the other one's an Astra Constable 2.
Yeah.
And then the one second one from the right, I don't remember what that is off the top of my head, but that may be my JP Sauer and Son. Yeah, it is, definitely is. JP Sauer and Son 38H. That is the most accurate pocket pistol I own.
Really?
At 30 feet, I can put almost every shot into the 10 ring on a pretty small target.
You know, Remington tried to reintroduce that 51 several years ago, but it just wasn't the gun that the old gun was.
Yeah.
No, they had a lot of trouble with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
In fact, they actually pulled it off of the market for a while, didn't they? And then
Yeah.
and then brought it back.
Yeah. But it just never did catch on. Not like
Right.
those. Not like those. The old ones are nice guns.
Now, there's some good stuff right there. That's right up my alley.
I thought you might like this, Mike. This is kind of some of the Colt. I pulled these out because they're Browning / Diodone Saive guns. I don't have a high power here. I need a high power in here to kind of round it out.
Sure.
But, like the baby Browning up there, I did a video on this way back. This pistol, I mean, Browning is everywhere. It's on the paperwork, it's on the gun, it's on the box. But this gun, Browning, he may have been alive when they kind of started formulating this pistol.
Right.
He was long gone when this pistol came out. This was a Diodone Saive pistol, and the Browning high power is the same. So, John Browning was commissioned to build a military pistol. I think it was, I want to say Spain or Italy. So he was working on that, but there were so many changes after he had passed away that Saive had done to that pistol that it's really a Saive design,
Right.
but with Browning fingerprints all over it. Me and Dylan over at Huntsville Guns LLC, we're going to do an in-depth video on kind of that story, hopefully soon. And George,
That'd be nice.
you
Yeah.
saw I was asking about that one particular Colt book, and that was part of why.
Did you find one?
Have not yet.
Which Colt book are you looking for?
I would have to pull it up and
Okay.
I'll email it to you. After we.
Well, I've had several of those little baby Brownings, and I'll tell you what, it's amazing for the size that they are, how accurate they are.
Yeah.
It's just like point your finger and shoot.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sights on it. It really is just a kind of point and shoot pistol. But I had all my micro pistols out the other day, and it was the most accurate one, and it's
right
by far the smallest. I mean, my hand swallows that thing. It's so tiny. But just for people that aren't familiar, going from left or from right to left, you got a Colt 1902 military, 1911 military, Colt 1903, that's 32 ACP, and then that's a Colt vest pocket on the bottom. And then
1908. Yeah,
Yeah.
25.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of people mistake that for the baby Browning. And
Yeah, but the baby Browning's smaller.
yeah, it is. It is.
There's a movie, I can't tell you what the name of it is, but there's a movie with Gene Hackman. It's a relatively old one, but he actually smuggles a baby Browning into a secure facility in the bottom of a big gulp Coke. He wraps it in a plastic bag, sticks it down in the bottom, and puts ice on it, and fills it, puts a Coke in it. And anyway, when he walks up to the metal detector, to go through, well, he sets his drink over to the side, and then he goes through, and then he gets his drink and goes on. And then when he pulls it out, the guy says, "Well, you can't shoot anything with that little thing," and he shoots the clock off the wall.
Well,
I just remember that
you can put it in your shirt pocket, and you
Oh,
just
yeah.
don't even know it's there. Until you actually hold one, you can't really understand how
Right.
diminutive
Well,
it is.
what is it, Bauer, that made a
Yeah.
replica of that, or a duplicate?
Mhm.
If they had used the polymer frames, those things would have really been,
Well,
just so
this
easy to carry.
This one has the I think they called it like aircraft aluminum frame.
Right.
So it's even lighter than the original. Yeah, pretty.
It's amazing how much difference it makes. I recently picked up one of the high powers with the alloy frame, and older one, and it's amazing how much weight difference there is.
Yeah, that little baby Browning, it's got a little bit of snap to it.
Yeah.
But very, very easy to shoot. I've got a question for George. Scott says, George, do you own any nylon 66 models?
I don't. I've had quite a few, some 66, the bolt guns, the lever guns, and the 66, but I don't have a nylon gun now at all. And I got in a little bit of trouble about that. My wife gave me one time, and I traded it off for something else.
Oh.
When she found out about that, it didn't go over.
That's a no, George.
But that's yeah, I know that. Yeah. Well, we do that sometimes. But
what did you trade it for?
Did you ever take a 66 apart? If you haven't, don't.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. I've not owned one. I've kind of kept my eye out.
They're great guns. They just do super. They just
everybody I've ever talked to that has one just swears up and down by them. Says they're tough as nails.
The only drawback I had with and I had two different instances of this, losing the magazine too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Boone says he has the Bauer. Yeah. I've got an Astra that's like that 1908, and it's a beautiful gun, fully engraved. And
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, really, really nice gun. I mean, they weren't laser etching those things back then either.
I've never shot one of the little Bauers. I don't. I'm assuming they shoot just as well as the baby Browning. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that the trigger was quite as good, but I don't think the trigger on any of those little guns is all that great. I mean,
right.
Probably the baby Browning is the best of them. I also shot a Raven M P25, I think it is, which is, a pot metal gun, but it had a really slick action and the trigger wasn't bad. I mean, $100 pistol, I don't know. Some people are worried they're going to blow up in their hands.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Jim Ashby, good to see you, buddy. Glad to have you in the comments as always.
Any of you guys like pump action 22s?
Sure.
Yeah, bring it on. We
got my-
Nibs, we still got to do a video on that.
I know. I got my picture up there, Jeremy.
Yeah, we've been threatening to break those out. We can't do it live when we bring on actual
Right.
firearms, so we kind of pre-record it, which kind of sucks because you can't talk to the chat. We can do a premiere and talk to them, but yeah, we need to do that for sure. So yeah, this is Nibs pump.
Oh, there you go. Oh man.
So that picture is about 10 years old. I've sold some of them and purchased more than that. I need to do it again, but it's really tough to get them all out like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I had one where I took them all and like had a log out in my backyard and laid them all out in the grass and had them stretched like 25 feet across the log out in the backyard.
Wow.
You know, one of my favorite pump guns is the Winchester 42.
Winchester 42. Oh, is that a shotgun?
410. Yeah, 410.
410
Okay.
shotgun.
Oh, but
Yeah, well, that's everybody's favorite 410 shotgun.
yeah,
The only thing I don't like about it is it's a 410.
Yeah.
Oh, I think 410s are fun to shoot, but getting expensive to shoot though. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a little Winchester. Well, I still have it. It's one of the first guns I learned to shoot with. It was my dad's little 62A Winchester, and it was made in 1936. So I've still got it.
Yeah. So
Charlene says you have to wait 6 months before trading something that was given as a gift,
I
especially
think it
from your
was
wife.
much longer than that, Charlene, but she didn't forget.
More like 6 years.
Yeah. I
So
thought I was on good ground. I thought I could get away with it, but it didn't work.
before we move away from this picture, just one I want to point out that's really obscure is right in the middle on the right-hand side. I don't know if you guys can see my pointer, but probably can't. But it's right in the middle, kind of a short one there. That one's actually called a Hamilton Model 39. And it was made by the Hamilton Rifle Company. They were pretty famous for their Model 27 single shot 22s. But this one was the only pump action they ever put out. And it was all stamped sheet metal. Even the barrel was a brass liner with stamped sheet metal wrapped around the outside of it. And it shot 22 shorts only.
Huh. That is wild.
But,
You ought to take a picture of that by itself sometime so we can get a close up of it.
I actually sold that one
Did you?
a couple years ago. Ended up getting quite a bit more than I paid for it, so I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Southern Rifle of Chrome and Black 66 was the first gun I ever fired.
Yeah.
Marshmud, I remember when you could pick up Island brand new, well under $100. Not now. Not now. I don't think I've seen one for less than 600 anywhere. And not clean ones either.
Several years ago, like a whole collection of nylon 66s of all the colors, the green one, the black one, the brown one, all came up for sale for a really good price at a local shop. But at the same time, a Winchester 52 came up for sale, and you can guess which one I bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I worked at a gun shop in the 70s, and just talking about the inexpensive guns, I remember those Mohawk 600s, and they were under $100. I think they were around $89, something like that.
Yeah.
Cool
You
little
never see
gun.
them. I don't see them much anymore, Mike. You know, you used to see one down there, but I don't.
I had a 243 for a long time, and it was a tack driver. I mean, those are good guns.
Wants to see a rifle in 25 ACP. I don't know why, but if anybody was going to do it, Keltec would do it.
Yeah, they would be the one.
Question for Nibs. What is your favorite pump?
Pump 22, probably the one of my Winchester Model 61s, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably that, I would guess.
Good evening, Long Rifle.
They're
All
just
right.
so nice.
I always love to read these. My first gun was
Mm-hmm.
my first gun was a Winchester 37A 410. Hate to say it, but I like the earlier model 37 better. Okay.
That's a single shot, right?
I would imagine it is. Do you still have it, Marsh Mutt? That's does anybody on the panel still have their first firearm?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
I
Right
do.
on. Right on. Yeah, if in the
It was
chat,
actually
if you still have your first firearm, give me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
It was actually my dad's first firearm too, so which is pretty special.
Yeah, that I was telling you, I like the little Remington bolt action 22s, and the very first rifle I ever had was a Remington 510 single shot. It got when I was 10 years old,
Yeah.
10th birthday.
Nice.
Wow. My first one was a number 4 rolling block, 22 caliber takedown number 4 rolling block, and I still had it.
There you go.
So you
You gotta keep your first one.
You do have to keep your first one.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm telling on myself though. I remember taking that gun to school in the 5th grade and doing
Right.
a show and tell in the 5th grade. with a 22 rifle.
Don't do it today,
Try that
George.
today, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
don't do it today.
So the one I had was a Mossberg 146 BA. It was made new in around 1954, 53, somewhere around there. And it was bought new for my father as his first rifle back in the early 50s.
Okay.
And
That's wonderful.
that was actually the first gun I ever shot when I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Mr. Breeze, my first was a Winchester 61, and I still
good.
have it.
Well,
Looks
Yeah.
like quite a few people are responding, Jeremy, to what you said.
yeah.
Good. Good deal. Daisy Lever Gun Fun.
Hey, long rifles on. Mike's on.
Yeah. I thought I got him up there. How are you tonight? Glad to have you in the chat. So for some of the people that are just showing up, we've got Mike Baker from Texas Gun Collectors Association. He's the editor of their magazine over there. Mike, you want to show them the cover of that magazine again?
Yeah, show
we-
that cover again.
George
Mike.
doesn't want to say it. If I can get it in the
Beautiful.
where there's no did I get the glare off of it? It's kind of hard to.
Now the neat thing about this is that is George's single action on the front that he has won a couple of awards of late. George, you want to kind of touch on that real quick?
It's an 1875 Remington 4440 that was issued to the Pine Ridge Indian Police. And, that's an original badge there with it. That's a hard one to come by. If you're a Remington guy, that's a real hard one to come by.
Yeah. If you guys are into Remingtons, go check out Remington Society.
Please do.
RemingtonSociety.org, and then Texas Gun Collectors Association, TGCA.
Correct.
.org. And both great organizations, and just a wealth of knowledge in the journals, magazines that they put out are so well done. They're not the kind of things that you buy off the magazine rack today. These are articles and photos done by experts, and it's just the magazines and journals themselves are worth the price of admission. Everything else is just icing on the cake. Being able to meet people and check them out.
You know, while you're on that point, Jeremy, I know a lot of younger people, they just buy, they look on the internet, they buy stuff on the internet. but they're really missing out by not attending the shows and networking with other collectors, because I tell you, there's a lot of these collectors that they know they're getting old, and maybe they don't have kids, and they don't want to leave their wives to deal with their collections, and they would love to take somebody under their wing and mentor them and teach them what they know and help them to start a collection. I know we've got several people in our club that are like that. We've got a show coming up the end of April at Embassy Suites in Denton, 25th, 26th, and 27th of April. And there's just some fine people there. And if you've not been to one of these shows, you need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Let me echo that because Mike's telling you right. And don't be intimidated. Just walk up and introduce those guys. If you see something that interests you, you walk up to those fellas and introduce yourself and tell them you're interested. I think you'll be surprised at how well you're accepted. These guys like to talk about what they have, and they really, really like to show you and welcome you into it. It's a great hobby. It's fun, and you don't have to start off with some high dollar gun. You just get into it and work your way up. But go to the shows. And if you see something that you're interested in, you talk to these guys. They welcome you to be there.
Yeah, that's so true. And just to kind of put a bow on that point, last year I was walking out of Wanamaker. No, let's see. Yeah, I was walking out of Wanamaker's, and I stopped at a table, and he had a Marlin that just kind of caught my eye, and it was priced too high to be just blunt about it. But I visited with him for, I don't know, 20 minutes, and I was getting ready to leave, and he said, well, if you want that, he shot me a price that was, I don't know, 30% lower than what he had it marked. And so I went ahead and bought it because it was a banger deal then. But it just talk to some guys, because that's going to lead you into some good deals, and you're going to learn a lot too, because you're right. These guys want to talk about what they're interested in, and they'll definitely take the time. Now, that's not to say that there aren't some people out there that are wired that way, but that's life.
Mike knows one or two.
If you get a bad one, just walk on down the aisle and
that's exactly.
try the next guy.
Yeah, exactly right. Just walk away. I will say this, and I think Mike's going to agree with me. Sometimes it makes a difference to me who I sell the gun to. I might sell it to one guy, and I might not sell it to the next guy. It makes a difference. You get to where it makes a difference who you sell your guns to.
Yeah,
care about where they go.
Sure.
True.
Somebody said that we don't own these guns. We're just the caretakers, so there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
So Marshmont asked the question about what's the one gun you had a chance to buy, but still regret turning down.
There's a bunch of them
today, actually.
We don't have that much time.
So Friday I stopped at a local store semi-local store that I don't get a chance to go to very often, and they had a Winchester 52B in there. And I said,
you need another one.
And I hemmed when I should have hawed, and I called them back today, and it was already gone. So
yeah, I think most recently when we were in Vegas, George, I saw a really nice Marlin 39 Mountie. And it was one of the older ones, had the big barrel on it. Really nice gun. I had a beautiful 39M a few years ago that I let go I had a brain fart, I guess. And I've regretted selling that one ever since. And now I regret not buying that one. So I got double jeopardy there.
Sometimes you think about it too much.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You're right. There's a Cabela's over in Buda. And when I was working, I would go by there, and anytime I went by, I'd have to go in and check out the gun library. Well, they had a I couldn't tell you the model, but they had a Remington double barrel shotgun, and it had the most beautiful piece of wood on it I've ever seen, and it was all engraved, and it had Damascus barrels, and they only wanted $600 for it, and I mean that thing was beautiful, and I thought, what am I going to do with a shotgun that I can't really shoot, you know?
Yeah.
So I didn't get it. I went back a couple of times. They still had it. And then I made up my mind I was going to buy it. And of course, when I went in to buy it, well, it was gone. So
You can
I always
sometimes,
regretted that one.
sometimes you can find some pretty good deals in those Cabela's. I don't know if it's the guys there maybe don't always know exactly what they have.
Right.
I scroll through there every once in a while just to see if there's something that they missed.
Well, and if you do, you know, maybe it's cheating, but I have a Cabela's credit card. So I put groceries on it, I put everything on it, and then it gets points, you know, that you can use. So sometimes you buy something that's a couple of $1,000 and you got $400 or $500 worth of points. Well, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, for sure. Scott Hansen, Remington made good knives. Yeah, they did. He needs to talk to Rich Shepler over at Remington Society of America, because Rich will talk to you about knives until your ears fall off.
Rich Shepler knows everything there is to know about a Remington knife.
I think probably
That
so.
old bullet knives and stuff, they still bring good
There
money.
you go.
Look at that.
Got one right here in my desk drawer.
Yeah.
How about that? How old is it, Mike?
Oh gosh, I don't know, 90s, I think. It's just one of the bullet knives. Well, 92.
Okay.
1992 it's got on it.
Good knives.
I always keep my eyes peeled for one when me and the wife, we like to stop in at antique shops and flea markets and stuff like that. But I don't have any Remington knives.
I might try to help you out with that.
Yeah.
Do you know if those Remington knives were made in Ilion?
I don't think so.
You know, I don't know where this. Now the older ones, I don't know. This just says made in the USA, and it's got the Remington UMC circle on it.
Yeah, that's early. Yeah.
It's an R1253 made in 1992. I just love the style of it.
That's a good knife. I'm not sure where they were made, Nib. That's a good question for Rich.
Yeah.
I'll find out next time I see you. I'll let you know.
Sure.
We'll find out.
I'm kind of partial to like Camillus knives and stuff like that, and Utica cutlery because I'm right here in New York. So
I was over at a buddy's house today. He had that's why I was scrambling to get on, George. I had something come up. He asked me to come over. His wife's dad had left a whole bunch of silver coins and bullion and all that, and she doesn't know what to do with it. And they wanted me to come over and take a look and, see what's there and what direction to go with it. But after we got done with all that, we were out in his shop and just kind of looking around. He's one of those guys that's just got everything, muscle cars, tractors, you name it, got it. But he had this old knife sitting there, and I opened up the blade, and this was a knife blade that probably would have been, 4 or 5 inches long, probably 4 inches long.
Yeah.
And if it was 2 inches, slap me across the head. Somebody had whittled that thing down. I mean, think about how much whittling you got to do to get a knife blade from 4 inches down to 2 inches.
It made a good screwdriver now, huh?
Yeah. Long rifle that says, I was put on a Greyhound bus in 1971. This sounds like the start to a song. The Greyhound bus in 1971 at 11 years old with a Stevens Model 84 and a sock between my legs and 2 boxes of ammo in my pockets. My suitcase was in the cargo hold. Wow.
Wow.
The good old days.
Man, that is something. That is something else. So what else you guys got going on? George, you were working on your tractor last week.
I was working on a dadgum lawnmower. It's springtime,
Lawnmower.
man. The pollen's everywhere and the grass is growing, and lawnmowers need sharp blades and oil changed and
Oh,
tires fixed and cleaned up and all. So that's what's been 2 days in the shop. Oh, that's great, Nib.
yeah, Nibs has got his knife case out.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great.
There you
That's
go.
great.
Those are all the Camilluses. Oh, most of them.
Yeah. Fixing lawnmowers, and I guess in the next few days it's going to be fixing tillers. I guess it's about time to be thinking about a garden too.
Yeah, ready. And I worked on this old John Deere 322. I've had several of these 300 series tractors over the years. Just great machines. This one has a liquid cooled 3-cylinder Yanmar gas motor in it.
Really?
Wow.
A lot of
That's
torque
cool, huh?
and super quiet. Just the quietest tractor I've ever owned. But yeah,
That's the original motor.
yeah. It's got about 1,600 hours on it, which those motors you're going to get between 5 and 10 if you take care of them. Of course, the 318 had the Onan gas motor, and then the 332 had the diesel, Yanmar diesel. But yeah, neat old tractors, 2-spool hydraulics, 3-point. You get a rear PTO. This one's got a 50-inch deck. But yeah, I've just had several of them over the years. I enjoy working on them. And like you say, George, getting the tiller ready, getting the garden, trying to get the garden in. We had to Papa's moving out by us this year, and so we're going to do just one garden instead of both of us having our own.
That's good.
And
That's a good fellow to be doing a garden with. That's a good idea.
yeah. We had to move. Let me cue this up real quick. Yeah, here we go. We had to move this hoop house that I had built. Now this is like 5 years old. Let me get the volume off here. And it's just goat panels. You know, there's 20-foot 2x6s along the bottom, and then just goat panels folded over the top, and then some UV plastic across it. Well, that UV plastic I put on there, I think this is the 5th year.
Wow.
In Oklahoma wind and weather and tornadoes, it has held up incredibly. I'm not sure why it's not playing. Oh, there was some stakes or something holding it down, but yeah, we dragged that out of the way to make room for the expansion of the garden. But yeah, this is kind of an inexpensive way to build a greenhouse if that's something you're looking to do. Just a simple frame around the bottom, and then nail in some goat panels and cover it in plastic. And it's worked really, really well for us. We didn't use it last year. That's why there's grass growing up on the inside of it. But yeah, that was part of our project this week. Nibs, do you put in a garden?
I haven't in years. We used to. Since my kids grew up and they're gone, just don't take the time for anymore. So
Yeah, they take a lot of work. That's for sure.
yeah.
How about you, Mike? Are you a garden guy?
Well, I thought multiple times, especially with the greenhouse idea, but you know, I live just in a subdivision, so I don't have much room
Yeah,
to get out and do anything.
yeah.
My wife's got a raised bed. We got a few onions and
You
you know,
can
some
do a-
radishes, a few things like that.
Yeah, you can do a lot in pots and raised beds. When we lived in town, all of our garden was out of just 3 and 5 gallon pots, and
Right.
We grew all the tomatoes and peppers and all that stuff we wanted.
Right. Right. Banana peppers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bell
Yeah.
peppers.
It's springtime, Mike, and you're still riding, aren't you? So it's time to be doing some.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get to wander off very far like I used to, but my wife doesn't. She doesn't like me doing that. But yeah, I just took about I don't know, a little 50-mile hop around the Lake Conroe a couple of days ago. The weather was just too nice.
Yeah. This was our sky the other night. Just
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
yeah. Pretty neat stuff. Well,
Nibs,
fellas,
I've got up into your area one time on motorcycle. We went to Lake Placid.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, rode up there and rode back. That was a nice trip.
yeah. Well north. That's well north of me where I'm at. I'm right in the center of the state.
Ah, okay. Well, we had to go
Yeah,
through the
I've been
center to
up
get to the upper part.
Sure.
Yeah.
2 questions, Mike. What are you riding? And have you ever been up through Tallahena?
Tallahena.
Yeah, that's just kind of far eastern Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure I have. I mean, I know I've been through Oklahoma multiple times. I've got when I went to New York, I had a 96 Road King. Right now I've got a 2012 Road Glide, and I love it. It's by far one of the most comfortable bikes I've ever had. And it's not a crotch rocket. It's not going to run 200 miles an hour, but
Yeah.
it'll hit 80 and pretty quick, and that's fast enough for me. So
I used to ride a Goldwing, and I was looking the other day at these new Goldwings they have out. Yeah,
they're like cars.
yeah, they're just incredible. They're like cars on 2 wheels. Just,
Well, BMW has one out. If I'm correct, I think it's 168 horsepower.
man.
Yeah. So it's, I would hurt myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too much for me. Well, fellas, we're about an hour and 20 now, so I think we probably ought to wrap it up.
Yep, I got to get to
Appreciate
bed
you guys
anyways.
coming on tonight. And if anybody's interested, Texas Gun Collectors Association, tgca.org. Go sign up with them. All kinds of firearms they talk about over there. A lot of knowledge. They have a great magazine that they put out. They have
And if you join up this year, you get a free Fine and Antique Arms Annual, which is a $70 value. It comes free with your $60 membership. So if you can do the math on that, it's a heck of a deal.
It is.
Do y'all do multiple year memberships over there as well?
Sure, you can. I mean, there's no discount or anything, but you can pay in advance for as many as you want. So,
okay, good deal. And if you're a Remington guy, whether it be knives, guns, typewriters, bicycles, all the things that Remington made over the years, check out remingtonsociety.org. What's the membership over there now, George? Is it
$50 a year for the first year and $45 after that?
All right.
A good deal.
Outstanding. And you get four journals per year at RSA and at Texas Gun Collectors.
Just 2, spring and fall.
Okay. Good deal. Nibs, is there anything you want to throw in there before we wrap it up?
Yeah, just invite everybody to check out my channel. I got a couple of interesting deals coming up. Nothing I'm buying more than likely, but I have 2 separate collections of really high-end air guns that I'm going to be getting a chance to check out, and it's going to be a lot of fun for the channel, I think.
Awesome. Here at Firearms and Fellowship, we're gonna every Monday night we're gonna have a firearms show on and talk about. I love you guys in the comments. We'd love to visit with you and hear what you're doing. So come join us on Monday nights. Who knows what we're going to be talking about? Definitely be firearms and a little bit of other stuff that us guys like to do. And then Thursday nights, same time, 7:00, we're going to have fellowship. So I'd invite any of you that are interested in that to come please join us. If you want to give testimony, you can do that in the comments, and we'll be glad to see you there. Fellas, I appreciate you coming on tonight, and y'all have a blessed day.
Going every
Thank you,
day.
Jeremy. Appreciate the invitation.
Appreciate you, buddy.
All
Thank
right,
you,
y'all.
Mike. Good to see you, pal.
You
Neil,
too, George.
yourself,
Nibs,
man.
nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Thanks for watching in the comments, folks. We love you.
See you in Texas in a few